Fun fact: did you know the term incel was actually coined by a woman? Her name is Alana, and her original definition of the word incel referred to anybody of any gender who was lonely, had never had sex, or hadn't been in a relationship in a long time. The word incel has been thrown around so much in modern-day culture, and it's a common label placed specifically on males, usually to insult them, especially online. I'm looking at you, Reddit. Incel is short for involuntarily celibate and refers to a frustrated man who feels unable to develop romantic or sexual relationships despite wanting one. A femcel is essentially the same thing, except it refers to women who often express feeling undesirable and rejected. So, with that being said, let's explore the femcel phenomenon and how it relates to female isolation and loneliness. Femcels and sexual frustration. Similar to incels, femcels often express romantic and sexual frustration rooted in feelings of fear and worthlessness. In one fascinating research study about femcels published in the Archives of Sexual Behavior, researchers collected data from over 24,000 posts from a dedicated online female community to understand and identify common themes and patterns within their conversations. This was done by coding 1,200 posts containing the keywords sex, power, frustration, and revenge. One of the key themes identified was sexual frustration, with many women attributing it to not being able to find high-quality partners. In one discussion, a woman wrote, "A generous, attentive, even understanding lover does not exist for ugly femcels." The researchers also found that many women in these forums expressed resentment about pretty privilege and not feeling attractive or young enough. The grievances and frustrations around sex, relationships, and perceived attractiveness among femcels paralleled some of the themes associated with the incel community. However, there are still stark differences in how these two groups express themselves and how their experiences manifest. The pink pill, similar to what's referred to as the red pill within male culture, the pink pill refers to a belief system that claims to reveal the harsh truths about gender dynamics, dating, and society, truths believed to be intentionally hidden or denied by mainstream culture. The pink pill philosophy claims that women who are considered undesirable or ugly are victims of deeply ingrained societal beauty standards and need to recognize and accept this rather than comfort or delude themselves. Beauty standards placed on women perpetuate feelings of loneliness and exclusion, and many in the femcel community feel that these standards limit their options in the dating pool. While men might be judged by things like height, income, and social status, women who identify as femcels often express feeling judged by their weight, makeup, style, and, of course, their age. It's important to remember that toxic beauty standards aren't reflective of individuals, but of society as a whole. It's an unfortunate reality many women face, and it's a driving force behind why they may choose to identify as femcels when they feel they don't fit into these standards. Sad girl core and mental health. There's a common theme within the discourse around femcel culture: a general disappointment with men, love, and relationships, and a feeling of being misunderstood or overlooked. In an academic article published by the European Journal of Cultural Studies, the authors explain that the term femcel within contemporary social media and internet culture has evolved into a form of identity expression. It often romanticizes notions of being lonely, pathetic, or toxic toward relationships in some way. Even though male incel culture often claims that women wield infinite sexual power and access, femcels argue that they are constrained by societal standards of beauty and femininity, pressures that can manifest as depression or social anxiety. Unfortunately, femcel culture parallels the same bleak sentiments and toxic online patterns as its male incel counterpart. Femcel spaces can become echo chambers that reinforce pessimism, black-and-white thinking, and fatalism about relationships. One theme that frequently appears within femcel culture is sad girl core. For those unfamiliar with the term, you might think of melancholic Lana Del Rey, or Billie Eilish edits on TikTok, or dare I say, Tumblr. Where are my millennials at? However, sad girl core is more than just an internet aesthetic. It's an extension of femcel culture and the emotions behind female angst, rejection, and disillusionment with romantic relationships. Those who identify as femcels often express their mental health struggles and resentment around sex and relationships through online content. However, this expression often displaces personal accountability and tends to solely blame men and society for their problems, much like male incel culture. When both femcels and incels engage in this kind of thinking, the biggest problem is that it can foster resentment, anger, or even hatred. It creates an endless feedback loop of pessimism about one's circumstances, which can worsen existing mental health issues. So, what do you think of this topic? We'd love to hear your thoughts, opinions, and lived experiences in the comments. As always, have a wonderful day.